Dear Miss and everyone, this presentation is for the case study of employment relation. My name is Zhang Haomiao. Student ID is SUKD 1900770. Before start to present, let's take a look of the content. The first part is analyze and summary of the case. Then I will explain the review of the case and as an arbitrator, and recommendations to prevent the issue mentioned in the case will be introduced. Finally, the reference involved in the case. So let's start at part 1. Analyze and summary of the case. The case recounts an incident in which the claimant was fired by the company and applied for compensation. The parties in the case are claimants Marina Bati Hassan and British American Tobacco Malaysia. BAT Malaysia is the largest lead tobacco company in Malaysia with a history of more than 100 years. The company previously provided day-to-day management to its affiliates. The claimant was a former employee of BAT Malaysia, and she was employed by the company on April 1, 1990 as a data entry operator. In early 2001, British American Tobacco Malaysia decided to outsource the helpdesk service to the claimant and offer the claimant a voluntary separation scheme. In reality, British American Tobacco Malaysia has decided to outsource the helpdesk service in early 2001 as a result of the restructuring plan. The claimant's position therefore no longer existed. The employee relation manager advised the claimant to leave by accepting a VSS or be fired without any compensation. The law held that there is no real agreement between the parties to terminate the employment contract, and the employment was unilaterally terminated by BAT Malaysia. The agreement industry relation practice states that it is important to treat redundancy situation fairly. In this case, the claimant served the company faithfully while BAT Malaysia made its decision without consulting the claimant. Claimant fell victim to an outsourcing scheme by BAT Malaysia. As a result, BAT Malaysia was ordered to pay compensation of 54,194 ringgit to the claimant. The next part is the review of the case as an arbitrator. From the arbitrator's perspective, BAT Malaysia's dismissal of the claimant was unfair and the claimant should have been compensated. First, the validity of agreement requires an offer and acceptance behavior, and there is mutual agreement. The voluntary acceptance of the agreement by both parties can regard the agreement as a valid fact. In the case, the claimant mentioned that the employee relation manager told her that her position has been made redundant, and that if she refused to accept the VSS, she would not receive any benefits and be fired. Meanwhile, the employee relation manager did not allow the claimant to leave the room or give her time to think about it. From this, it can be seen that the claimant had no choice in this matter and that she would not choose retain employed. If the claimant does not accept the VSS, she will lose the benefits provided by BAT Malaysia. Therefore, the claimant's acceptance of the VSS in the case was involuntary and there was no real agreement between the parties. Therefore, the voluntary separation scheme cannot be effective. In addition, BAT Malaysia did not inform the claimant in advance that she was dismissed, and the claimant was unable to find another job in time, which was also a loss of the claimant. BAT Malaysia's compensation to the claimant was negligible compared to what she was paid for continuing to work. Therefore, BAT Malaysia should compensate the claimant. The following is recommendations to prevent the issues mentioned in the case. The first recommendation is provide employment advice and planning. BAT Malaysia can use human resource consultants to provide employment advice and planning for the dismissed employee when conducting employment dismissal. Being fired is a stressful event for an employee that causes perceptual, emotional, and physical change. BAT Malaysia can set up a consulting room when a large number of positions are contingent due to offshoring, and the human resource conduct can give some advice to the dismissed employees so as to reduce the confusion and pressure of the dismissed employees. The concern of BAT Malaysia for the dismissed employees reflect the sincerity and care of the employer, which is conducting to the establishment of a good industrial relations and reduce the occurrence of incidents in the case. The second recommendation is pay adequate redundancy and requirement benefits. BAT Malaysia can reduce incidents in the case by engaging high-level accountants to calculate and pay appropriate severance pay. Dismissal of minimum wage. Severance pay affect the health of employees by affecting their level of insecurity. The survey found that more generous severance packages reduce the impact of layoffs on employees. Adequate layoffs and retirement benefits can help seek the employees through the no-job period. Executive severance package can weigh on the company's economy. Reasonable termination benefits are a balance between the employer's economic level and the acceptance of the fired employee. Therefore, BAT Malaysia can employ a higher level of accounting and pay appropriate severance package to reduce the impact of dismissal on employees and of the organization. The third recommendation is employee transfer. In BAT Malaysia, employees can be transferred before the dismissal process. When some positions in BAT Malaysia are redundant and others are vacant, positions transformation can be accomplished by hiring excellent trainers. This allows organizations to acquire multi-skilled talent. Successful job transformation can meet the personal development needs for employees and help to improve organization's loyalty. On the other hand, staff transfer to a certain existent saves staff training cost. The transformed employees have already understood and resonated with the organizational culture and organizational goals in their previous positions. Transformed employees do not have to undergo executive organizational culture training in the new position, saving onboarding costs. Therefore, employee transfer is an important method when dealing with dismissal issues. The last recommendation is notify dismissed employees as early as possible. During the dismissal process, BAT Malaysia can notify the dismissed as early as possible, which will help them find new jobs. In social exchange theory, rewards are elements of a relationship that have positive value. Employees are happier when they find a better job or find a similar job and are compensated after being dismissed with advance notice. That is, they get more than they lose. Therefore, BAT Malaysia should notify the dismissed employees earlier so that the employees can find more favorable situation and achieve a better dismissal outcome. And the following is reference involved in the slides. Thank you for your watching.